Runs in the family though. My uncle was a hypochondriac. He was a terrible hypochondriac. He died at age 6 of typhoid. I'm going to do that joke every night until people start fucking appreciating it, right? He was the worst kind of hypochondriac. He was accurate. Boom! Boom! I hate your guts.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Penny, your cabin services director. Could any passenger with medical experience please make themselves known to a member of the cabin crew? Thank you.
The reality is, I got up straight away. I never wanted to volunteer for this kind of thing, but I did. I just happened to go, all right, I've got that. I didn't think, basically. And there were 2 rows in front of me on the right was a man and a woman. The man in his late 60s was clutching his chest. You could see he was in a lot of pain because his face was wincing. It's like that. His breathing was very laboured. I looked at him and I saw that he had a scar from a previous heart surgery. So my initial conclusion was, he's having a heart attack, maybe, right? The woman next to him, I assume, was his wife. Otherwise, she was getting way too involved. Right? She was waving this medication around, just waving it like this. And I got a bit worried because I thought it was going to cut the poor guy's head off before he gets fixed. At the feet of the old man was my hostess, who was previously really happy and smiley and hostessy. Now she's panicking, right? And I come up to her and say, it's okay, I'm a nurse. Now, the thing is, I was recently graduated, but I studied via correspondence. Which is insane. Studying nursing by correspondence is like studying nursing by correspondence. It's stupid, right? It's just stupid. What you do is you sit in front of a computer, you get a pretend patient, you pretend to fix them, and if you can't, you pretend that you could. And if it gets really bad, you just close the window and hop onto YouPorn. That's pretty much it. Deal with all your anger and weirdness sexually. You're getting insights I don't want you to have. Anyway, right, but I know in this instance I have to keep everybody calm. I've just got to keep them all really, really calm. So, I say to the hostess, can you please get me an oxygen tank and a blood pressure device? The reason is, I think his blood is having trouble getting to the heart. He might have a block somewhere. So whatever blood does get there, I want it to be saturated with oxygen, just pumped full of oxygen. And I want to get his blood pressure because the medication, the white ray throwing around is, I think, anginine. Now, here's the clinch. I think it's anginine because these guys don't speak English. The hostess, in a panic, says they don't speak English, they speak Hebrew. Who speaks Hebrew? Not that many people, right? So I've already got a communication issue with these people. But I think, right, I want to give the drug, I'm pretty sure it's anginine, which is a common drug for people who have heart attacks. Anginine works like this. It dilates the blood vessels, allowing more blood into the heart, right? So if I give it to him, maybe his heart will get more oxygen and it will start beating properly. Because if it keeps beating irregularly, he could have a heart attack and die. The reason I want the blood pressure device is I want to test his blood pressure because if it's too low and I give him anginine, he might drop, which is a term for faint. Right? He just completely pass out. So I want to check the blood pressure. She comes back with the oxygen. I put him straight on oxygen and I pump it up. And I just give him as much as I can. I go to get his blood pressure, knowing I've got to keep these people calm. Put the cuff on. I start taking it, then I realise I've put the cuff on upside down. It's very hard to keep people trusting your ability to help them when you have to undo a Velcro cuff, turn it round, and put it on the right way. Whilst he didn't speak my language, I'm pretty sure when he looked at me, he was thinking, this kid was certainly not chosen. The other host, there's a hostess, the Jew in the front row, there we go. They just me go and see his show. The hostess, there's another hostess there, she sees me screwed up the cuff, right? She taps me on the shoulder and says, look, we've just located another nurse. Would you like me to get the other nurse? And I look at her with the whites of my eyes just blaring at her and I say, get the other nurse. Because I am freaking out. goes to get the other nurse. Meanwhile, this gentleman's pain has gone up a couple of notches. He's like really keeling over, like this, right? And I'm thinking, right, I'm just going to give him medication. Screw the blood pressure, I'm just going to give him medication. I decided to give him 2. I don't know why I did that. I should have started with 1 and worked my way up. But I thought, no, let's nail this guy. So I give him 2 bits of what I think are angine. His wife may have hated him. It could have been cyanide. I just give him 2, right? He takes them. The other nurse comes back and I say, look, I got his blood pressure, it was about 130 on 80. I didn't know if that was true or not. I didn't get blood pressure. I just didn't want to look like a dickhead in front of another nurse. Another reason why I may have to choose another career. Yeah, the doctor's in the audience going, oh my fucking God. Oh my God. This guy's the real deal. Anyway, the other nurse comes back. Takes the blood pressure, turns out it's all right. She says, you did a great job. Which is good for me, I like getting validated. Hence this show. Anyway, she takes over, she's there another 3 minutes, it sorts itself out. I walk back to my chair, a tad holier than thou. And the first thing, you know what the first thing is I said to my wife? We are so getting upgraded. No, I think I saved a man. No, screw that. We're on our honeymoon, they know that, and I saved the guy. That's a fucking upgrade! Anyway, 20 minutes later, still no upgrade. And then I hear the most blood-curdling scream I have ever heard in my life. It came from a woman. So there you've got a woman screaming, not cool anyway, on a plane. Right? It was like a really, like deep within, blood-curdling, you know, the kind of scream that invokes a fight or flight response. People heard the scream, woke up, karate chopping the person next to them. Other people chose flight only to realise they're already on a Straight away, don't muffle your fucking laugh there. The whole purpose of why we're here. Straight away, I go to the person. I know who it is. It's the wife of the husband, right? The husband is like this. I can feel his skin. It's cold. I try and find his pulse. I can't. Oh my God, I killed somebody! I haven't even started nursing yet and I've killed a dude! He's not even a dude, he's a man with grandkids. Ow! And family, you know? Far out! So, here's my train of thought. Sometimes I have trouble finding the pulse. Maybe that happened. Maybe I just couldn't get it. Maybe he's just passed out. You have to wake this guy up. You have to get him to respond. And then I did something I hope I never ever have to do. I slapped him. I could have rubbed his chest. I could have tweaked a nipple. I panicked. I slapped him. The great irony being, my whole life I haven't wanted to be seen as anti-Semitic, and now I'm slapping an old Jewish man with heart problems. But it works, right? He comes up, he's like this, right? Now bear in mind, I don't speak his language, so the first thing I've done is given him some drink to increase his blood volume, which will increase his blood pressure and keep him with me, right? I've whacked up the oxygen, I made sure it's really still tight, and I've just engaged like I have never engaged before. I'm just trying to keep him with me, because don't faint on me, brother, because you're going to die and I'm going to lose my job before I even vomit. So I am just going, I'm trying to convey in my face, please stay with him like this. In the back of my head I'm thinking, you cannot die now, man. The last thing you're going to see is my orgasm face. It's a happy occasion, I choose to smile.